Hi, Studio Recapped here. Today, we're going to talk about a movie called Splice in the sci-fi and horror genres. Spoiler alert is on. Take care. The movie begins with a childbirth scene. We then see two strange creatures named Fred and Ginger, created through genetic engineering. The moment they see each other, they communicate using their stingers. The story revolves around a couple named Elsa and Clive, who are genetic engineers working at a lab called Nerd. Their goal is to find various ways to treat and prevent different diseases and cancers. After successfully creating two new creatures from human and animal genes, they report to their superior. Joan Carrot, the head of the lab, disagrees with continuing the project after hearing their reports. Joan Carrot's goal is to initiate the second phase of the project, nothing more. This phase involves isolating Fred and Ginger's genes to produce a magical protein for making drugs for various diseases. Under the boss's orders, the previous lab is shut down, and Elsa and Clive are moved to a new lab under strict supervision. Angry at Joan Carrot's decision, Elsa and Clive decide to continue their research in secret. They work in the basement of their previous lab without informing anyone. Despite several failures, they keep experimenting with different genes and DNA and eventually succeed. Elsa wants to see if she can create an embryo with the vital generators. Clive can't stop her. They combine human genetics with those of another creature in the lab, creating a new being that grows at an unusually rapid rate. Elsa and Clive receive an urgent call and go to the lab. There, they see the embryo emerging from its containment much earlier than expected. When Elsa puts her hand inside the glass, she screams in pain as the embryo starts injuring her hand with something sharp. Clive cuts the wall with a knife, and the creature emerges, injuring Elsa's hand with its sting. They struggle to control the newborn creature, which has a semi-human appearance. Clive wants to kill it, but Elsa stops him, insisting they continue since they've succeeded. When Elsa checks on the creature, she only sees its shell inside the glass. Suddenly, she realizes the creature is loose in the room, causing chaos and becoming uncontrollable. However, Elsa manages to establish a connection with it. Clive takes Elsa out of there and uses gas to knock the creature out. Theoretically, the creature will die soon. Elsa convinces Clive not to kill it and to carefully monitor its growth chart. In the first few days, it was very difficult to communicate with it. Its loud noises could alert everyone to its presence. Elsa and Clive gradually managed to tame it a bit. Despite its rapid growth, the creature showed no appetite for food, and after much struggle, they discovered its preference for sweet things. Elsa treated it almost like her own child. She dressed it, talked to it. Although the creature couldn't speak, it was very intelligent. Elsa tried to teach it to read and write. The creature, seeing the writing on Elsa's clothes, matched them with the alphabet blocks. Elsa decided to name it Dren, based on the reversed writing. Clive's brother, Gavin, worked in the lab and one day accidentally overheard Elsa and Clive's conversations and the strange noises, leading him to discover Dren. He scolded his brother for this, but Clive asked him not to talk about it with anyone. Elsa had become overly attached to Dren and accepted it as her daughter, but Clive strongly opposed, believing it was nothing more than a lab specimen. They hid Dren in a secret place. While Drenel was dying from a high fever, Clive put it in cold water and soon realized it could breathe easily in water. This revealed that it was amphibious. Elsa and Clive demonstrated the same experiment that created Dren during a conference. During the unveiling of Fred and Ginger, instead of communicating, they attacked and killed each other with their stingers. This horrifying scene scared all the attendees and angered Joan Carrot. The boss scolded them and ordered the second phase to be implemented as soon as possible. In fact, if the male and female creatures were together, there would be no problem, and they would communicate through their stingers. However, due to a mutation, the female had changed gender, resulting in the two males attacking each other. After this incident, Elsa decided to take Dren to an abandoned farm that belonged to her family, to keep it safe and hidden. Dren had grown to almost the size of an adult human. Upon reaching the farm, Dren quickly ran away and was found eating raw rabbit meat. After some time alone, Dren kindly takes care of a cat. However, signs of violence are still evident in its behavior. Later, Dren, tired of being confined in the barn, asks Elsa to go outside. Elsa and Clive are worried about what might happen if someone discovers its existence, so they don't allow it. Dren gets angry like a child and messes everything up, then escapes through the roof window. Elsa and Clive catch up to it. Dren slips, and at that moment, something strange happens. We see that it has grown wings and is ready to fly. Here, we become aware of another ability of this strange creature. Clive begs it, saying, "Don't go, we love you very much." Dren returns and hugs Clive. It seems Dren has developed feelings for him. Elsa finds Dren's drawings and sees that all of them are pictures of Clive. The relationship between Dren and Elsa deteriorates. She takes the cat away from Dren and doesn't let it keep the cat. On the other hand, the relationship between Dren and Clive improves. Clive teaches it to dance, and during the dance, he suddenly realizes that it resembles his wife in many ways. In fact, Elsa had used her own genes to create it, while she had claimed to use the DNA of an unknown woman, leading to an argument. Elsa brings a cat for Dren, but Dren kills the cat with its sting and approaches Elsa with a mysterious smile. Then it takes the key to the door. However, as it tries to leave, Elsa hits it on the back of the head with a shovel, knocking it out. To prevent Dren from harming anyone and to continue the experiments, Elsa cuts off Dren's sting at the end of its tail. At that moment, Clive arrives. Elsa goes to the lab to complete the second phase of the project using the large amount of protein in Dren's tail. The next day, Clive goes to see Dren alone. Dren, while naked, approaches Clive and kisses him. Clive can't resist and gets closer to it. They have sex, and during this, Dren's sting reappears. Elsa arrives and, seeing this scene, gets very angry and leaves. Clive follows her to explain. In fact, both of them had broken the rules and were at fault. When they return to the cabin, they find that Dren is dead. It seems its death was due to the sex it had with Clive. After crying a lot for Dren, Elsa and Clive bury it. Gavin also informs the lab head about Dren's existence. The lab head arrives at this moment. He looks for Dren and says it now belongs to them. Elsa says it's dead, but the head doesn't believe her. In fact, Dren was still alive, but it had undergone a gender change just like the previous specimen. Dren attacks and kills the head, as well as Gavin. Then it goes after Clive. It throws Clive into the water, and when Elsa goes to help him, she notices Dren's transformation. Dren chases Elsa, and when it catches her, it pins her down and says it wants to mate. Dren rapes Elsa. Clive reaches them and attacks Dren from behind. Elsa gets up and hits Dren on the head with a large rock. However, before dying, Dren stings and kills Clive. The film then jumps to some time later. We see Elsa talking to Joan Carrot about future plans and agreeing to continue the experiments. When she stands up, we realize she is pregnant with Dren's child. Elsa had nothing left to lose and was ready to help save humanity.